Discovery Bay Marine Lab is the premier marine laboratory in the Caribbean, one of the oldest.
We have recognized that energy stability and energy efficiency is an important part of our being successful. Our marine labs, and we have a number of them, we have 2 marine labs, and both are solar driven. The idea is that the Discovery Bay Marine Lab, which is our larger lab, was 50% solar, and we saw so many benefits. If there was a power outage, we could rely on solar. If there was a hurricane or a weather instance, we could rely on solar. But it's only 50% powered. We needed a full 100% powering from solar. Plus, we wanted to be able to store, and very importantly, we wanted to be able to teach.
The UWI Discovery Bay Marine Laboratory has 3 main tenets. We do teaching, research, and outreach. So we are first and foremost a teaching lab. We're also a research platform or a field station for the different disciplines of science.
The research work and as well as outreach and teaching at the Discovery Bay Marine Lab currently focuses on mangroves, seagrass, and coral reefs. We had developed a considerable reputation in coral reefs, but based on the expertise we have now in Dr. Camilla Trench, our academic coordinator, we are developing more of a reputation in mangroves and mangrove restoration.
As we implement renewable energy technologies, we decrease the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, and therefore we can start reducing the warming of the planet. For us to do our part as a country, as a region, in responding to climate change, it's absolutely necessary for us to implement renewable energy technologies. And for universities like ours, it's important for energy efficiency, for savings on electricity, for demonstrating good practices with respect to employing renewable energy technologies. And it's important for showing our students and the next generations the possibilities with respect to renewable energies, and we can't leave out energy efficient technologies.
The University of the West Indies is guided by its key tenets of access, alignment, and agility. In access, we want to try and get more students into the university and have more entities access the research of the university. Alignment means working with partners to get the best for the university, the country, and the region. CARICOM would have to be our first and major partner. Through TAPTEC, which is a mechanism by which technical assistance is offered, we were able to take advantage of the opportunity to move this project into a new realm. Also funded from GIZ, which is the German Agency for International Cooperation. They were also partners who were eager. But of course, all of this is held within CCRE, which is the Caribbean entity that deals with energy and energy efficiency. So we had a lot of partners, and it proved that our AL2, which is Academic and Industry Partnership, works and works for us.
Microgrid systems are typically a system that they operate from the utility grid, or it can self-sustain in an emergency where if there's a large power outage, the microgrid can stand alone and supply and sustain on its own. The University of the West Indies system in Discovery Bay, it has battery and also generators, where batteries is always good. Batteries that is charged from solar and also from the generators. There is plan to go 100% with batteries in the future. Currently it's about 0.75 megawatt of power we're speaking about, and there's plan to expand that system.
The system is extremely innovative because there are very few here in Jamaica, and this specific one for UWI Marine Lab uses PCs and high voltage lithium batteries, and that's what makes it probably different and the first in Jamaica to do such a design and installation.
So this would be, for example, not only direct contribution to mitigation, but also provide an example of how we can do mitigation, and if it works, it can be scaled up on a broader scale. Adaptation, however, also has to be a key response to climate change. We need to become resilient, and we do so by coming up with new solutions.
The real difference is a typical solar PV system is either battery-based or grid-tied. meaning that one, the battery-based system will rely on storage for night operation or otherwise, and the grid tie being it relies basically upon the production during the sun peak hours. The microgrid incorporates several different energy sources. You can have wind, solar, backup generator, the grid, and it manages the different power sources for the optimal output.
Really, climate change resilience is hinged on education and convincing people that new solutions can work. I think this will play that role.
We keep permanent coral displays to show children and others who can't go into the water the wonders of life below the ocean. These corals are very delicate. They need constant supply of seawater, and so our pumps run 24/7.
It will be hopefully a center of excellence for the University of the West Indies, where we can enable not just the other life sciences, but now we'll be able to enable the engineering and the renewable energy teaching and research that can happen here in Jamaica. And we've all seen the spiraling fuel costs, and we know that renewable energy is definitely the way to go. And we're happy to be the host for this project, the site for this project. And we know that this is going to be a good example for the rest of Jamaica to say energy independence is definitely possible, and the university can show you how.
One of the core objectives of the Faculty of Engineering is to develop engineers that are innovative and know how their designs affect the wider environment and the population on a whole. So in particular, our engineering, electrical power engineering students, they would have an opportunity to see an actual institution that has a solar project in place. They get to see how the systems work on a whole, and in particular, they'll see how important it is to think about sustainability in their designs.
We're most excited that the university will have this system, so the university will be practically demonstrating the things that we teach about. You know, we try to create students and graduates who go out and make a difference in the various spheres, including in the sphere of energy. I think we're excited that those students will have the ability to interact with that system, will come up with their own ideas, will be able to use it as the springboard for even further solutions that will benefit society.
It is not sufficient to translate a technology from overseas to our local context. We must find out the application best suited for the region, and that's where our research is useful.
I believe the Microgrid project, the TAPSEC project, will effectively build that knowledge base through formal education as well as through our outreach. Visitors will see this fancy system and understand why we need to do more interventions like this if we really are going to mitigate the effects of climate change.
The most important lesson to be learned really is that we can be self-sufficient. You can take a factory, whatever it is, a building, and become self-sufficient using a microgrid design.
I think that the students being able to have hands-on, feel how the systems work, see possible setbacks that could occur over the lifetime of the project, that would help them to plan and look forward to how they can mitigate some of these things that may arise.
The Microgrid Training Center, similarly to how we produce or have produced hundreds of life sciences students, we hope that this training center will produce hundreds of engineering, renewable energy students that will grow this country and be a very important part of the economy, moving away from fossil fuels. And Jamaica definitely has first world ambitions, and this is definitely a part of that puzzle to become energy independent.
I would encourage us, every single one of us, to be open to renewable energy technologies, looking at their implementation in our homes, in our offices, our workplaces, and supporting the rollout of renewable energy technologies in our country and across the region. And that way we all do our part to mitigating, to reducing the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere and reducing global warming and the impacts of a changing climate.
I believe in terms of technology, the university shall lead the way. And having a prototype such as what we have in Discovery Bay, this will provide first hands-on practical experience, which is very lacking and needed in the industry for students. Students will have our facility where they could go and learn the way microgrids operate, how we design them, and the outcome if there's a power outage, or how it functions. This would be fully owned by the university, so we would have unlimited access for the students. And of course, this technology can be implemented or prototyped into different areas or different communities as we develop this country.
I see, for example, teaching expanding beyond just our traditional degree programs or our traditional postgraduate programs, and the Faculty of Science and Technology leading the way into things like, for example, micro-credentialing, short courses, people coming in and just getting exposed and getting certification. I think this system will enable or give us the ability to do some of that, especially in the energy sector. And so it will make a significant impact.
The opportunity for the university to embark on research that is homegrown research, which answers the questions of whether it's climate change, whether it's energy efficiency, whether it's alternative energy, gives us a chance as a national and now a regional university to share that information. Because remember, outreach from our research is an important part. If we can use Discovery Bay Marine Lab as an example, as a proof of concept, if we can get that to happen at one of our labs, remember we have Western Jamaica campus, we have the Port Royal Marine Lab, and then we migrate all of that back to the Mona campus, where we already have our LNG power system, but we need backup. That backup has to be solar. So my goal as a principal, if I can get that proof of concept from one of our outstations and migrate it back to the campus, then I've achieved my goal. Moreover, if I can get it taught and researched at the same time, and through physics and engineering, we're able to do this, bring that research back so that we're producing the engineers to continue monitoring, build, improve the next set of grids, we're way ahead of the game.